there, Kim Fulcher here. I'm ready to help you get your groove back. And today we're going to do it by learning how to say no like you mean it. Everybody needs to know how to do that, right? We're going to do it in 4 simple steps. So let's rock and roll. Step number 1. I want you to get clear about what yes looks like in your life. At any given moment, there are a million different things you can be giving your time, your attention, and your energy to, all of which are very precious resources. One of the most effective things you can do, and something that anyone who has worked with a life coach will have probably taken a stab at, is to create a priority list. A priority is something that is important to you, or something that needs your time, attention, or energy for your life to function. So an example could be spending time with your kids, that's important to you, or paying your bills, something that needs your time, attention, and energy in order for your life to function. So the first thing I want you to do is get really clear about the top 10 yes items in your life. I want you to take a deep breath and really write down, what are the things in my life that are really important to me to spend my time, my attention, and my energy on. And by the end of the list making, you should have somewhere between 7 and 10 items that you can treat as your priorities. Step number 2, once you've got your priorities defined, I want you to really wrap your mind around something called an opportunity cost. In business, an opportunity cost is referred to as what you don't get to do as a result of what you've committed to do. And this works in life too. Every time you say yes to a request in your life, you are saying simultaneously no to any other thing you could be doing with your time, attention, and energy in that moment. Now, this works great if you're actually spending time on priority items. But if you are spending your time, your attention, and your energy doing things for other people that actually don't make your priority list, you're going to be frustrated, frazzled, resentful, and not living your yes. It is a very bad recipe. So we want to make sure we're really clear on what yes is costing you in your life. Step number 3. This is an important one, and it's going to sound a little funny for a life coach to say, but I want you to delay and dodge. What do I mean by that? Delay. So many of us are so conditioned to agreeing to whatever is asked of us that we have yes vomit of the mouth. It's out of our mouth before we even understand we've said it. Sound familiar? Well, I want you to take a challenge this week. I want you to agree to take a 24-hour delay on answering any request, even the ones that eventually you know you're going to say yes to. I want you to just take a pause when somebody asks you for a favor or invites you to an event, and I want you to take a deep breath and first just get clear about whether or not you want to do it. Then go back to step number 1. Is this request supportive of one of your priorities? If so, go for it. If not, it's a no. And that's where the dodge comes into place. When you're first learning to say no, it's going to be a little tricky. You're not going to be very good at it because you don't do it a lot. So I want to give you permission to say no via email, via text, via voicemail. You don't have to be looking someone eyeball to eyeball in order to justify your no. So delay. 24-hour break before you agree to anything. And this is to make sure you're really checking in with yourself about whether or not you want to agree to it. And then dodge. If it's a no, it's okay to say no in an easy fashion. Finally, and this is actually the most important point, you're going to need to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Disappointing people is not a comfortable emotion, especially if you have been living your life as a pleaser. You're going to have a lot of people around you who are pretty conditioned to you being agreeable and accommodating. And so when you say no, they're going to be surprised and you're going to be uncomfortable. Here's the thing. You can breathe through discomfort. You can really condition your response so that it gets easier and easier to live through it. In fact, the more times you live through that momentary discomfort and you get to the other side of it and you realize the freedom and the liberty you've bought yourself with your no, the better and better you're going to get at being uncomfortable. That's it for the week. So let's do a real quick review, because your coaching homework, should you choose to accept it, is to go through this video again, use a piece of paper, and make sure you're really applying this to your life. So, number one, know what yes looks like for you. Make sure you're very clear about your priorities. Number two, make sure you're checking in on that opportunity cost. Every time you say yes to one thing, you're simultaneously saying no to many, many other things that could exist in your life. Right? Once you've got opportunity cost in check, you want to make sure you're using the delay and dodge tactic. Take a 24-hour break before you say yes, and if you have to say no, text or leave a voicemail. Pop an email. Totally cool to do that. And then finally, step number 4, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You really can get good at this. Finally, in closing for this week, you already know what I'm going to say. At least I hope you do. My sister, you are good, and you are good enough. Life is happening for you. Everything in your life is designed for your highest good. And finally, no matter what happens, you can handle this. You are so strong. You have mad skills, and you've already survived so much. You got this. Remember that. Check in on the comments below. Let me know how this is working for you this week. If you like this video, like it below, and make sure and share it if you have any friends in your life who could use a little lift this week. Until next week, do it.